All right, coming up in just a moment, our GNC2 main event. It is scheduled for 12 riders, 20 laps the distance. So that's the most laps that this GNC2 class has run all season long. And then after that, we'll have our GNC1 main event, and it is 12 riders, 25 laps. In just a second, we'll have our starting lineups. Track is just about ready. Looks like everybody here in the Orleans Arena is ready, and our two champions have been crowned already. We'll get the official presentation of the number one plate after our GNC1 main event. We already know Davis Fisher locked up the championship there at Delaware. It's a good thing he did, too, Chris, because he did not make the main event.
Yeah, tough night for Davis. Hopefully his appearance in the Super Prestigio on his birthday, 18th birthday tomorrow night, he'll have a good finish to celebrate with.
So in just a moment, they're going to start rolling the bikes out. They walk them out. They pick their starting spot on the line. They'll give them one lap to check out the racetrack, and then we'll turn them loose for 20 laps to do battle here. GNC 2 riders, again, riding the identical motorcycles as the GNC 1 class.
Yes, they are. And short track and TTs, well, all year, even when they're running twins, they're on the same spec. So, a lot of these guys, there were a couple of races where their qualifying was real good and would have put them up in the front of the GNC1 field. So, these guys are really talented. This type of track is a bit of an equalizer, and I expect that these guys are going to be the future of the sport as well.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is your starting lineup for our first A main of the night, the GNC2 class. On the pole from Warrington, Pennsylvania, riding the KTM, the only KTM in the main event, doing it for Bromley Brothers KTM. Ladies and gentlemen, number 54A, Dan Bromley. Starting second pick, I should say, on the front row, the Rod Lake RGR Hart Racing Honda from Salinas, California, makes his home now in Illinois. 30Z Brombo Bronson Bauman. Third pick on the front row from West Bend, Wisconsin. Used to be national number 45, came back out of retirement. He won Peoria. He'll be racing tomorrow night at the Super Prestigio, sponsored by Nergia and Pro Plates number 32L, Jesse Jenish. Fourth pick on the front row, the Roy-built Moose Racing Honda. Number 27U is on the number plates. Make some noise for Jamison Minor. Starting fifth on the front row, the Daytona Flat Track winner comes to us from Holly, New York, the Jones Racing Elder Trucking Honda. Number 19B, Justin Jones. And your last pick on the front row from Albion, New York, the Fat Guys Racing Honda. He was super excited when he won his heat race. What's he going to do when he wins the main? We'll wait and see. 94B, Flying Ryan Wells. Now we go back to the second row. These riders did it the hard way. They've had to run extra races. We'll see how well they do coming from row number 2. First pick on the second row from Holly, Michigan, the Lau Live Performance Recluse Clutches Honda 20J, Ben Lau. Starting beside him from Barker, New York, the American Super Camp Luke Zach Racing entry, number 10B, Austin Luke Zach. Former Peoria TT winners up next from San Martin, California, the GP Sports Rod Lake Honda, number 74Z, Rodney Spencer Jr. Starting 10th, back there in row number 2 from Modesto, California, riding the Pacific Coast Pools Rod Lake Honda, the son of an almond farmer, number 23Z, James Monaco. I nailed that one just for Chris Carr. Up next, from Snohomish, Washington, sponsored by Vince and Denise Holt and Ride Motorsports, he's riding a Honda, number 20M, Jacob Lehman. Starting at the tail end of the field, he did it the hard way, coming out of that last qualifying race from Modesto, California, sponsored by Pacific Tub and Tile on the Honda, 54Z, Michael Inderbitzen. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting lineup for the GNC2 main event. Let's put our hands together for all 12 riders that made it this far. Chris Carr, that's just for you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The tip of the hat to Bud Monaco out there, the gentleman that delivered a fresh bag of Central California almonds to us here in the booth.
Let's go trackside with Danny Medine. She's caught up with our pole setter. Danny?
All right, thank you. Our top qualifier, Dan Bromley, you have not had a win yet this season. You've had several seconds. What's it going to take to get that done here tonight and leave with your first win?
You know, a lot of luck with the 20 laps being out here, and definitely a good start and being consistent because, you know, the track's been really treacherous, having a lot of people crashing and jumping. So if I can get out here, get a good start, and do 20 solid laps, I'll come out and do what I came here to do.
All right, well, good luck to you, Scotty and Chris. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Danny. That's Dan Bromley sitting on the pole. He's got some fast company beside him. Bronson Bauman's already won. He won at Charlotte. We got beside him is Janish, who won at Peoria. So, I mean, it's still anybody's ballgame. Justin Jones won Daytona. Ryan Wells is out there on the front row. Jameson Minor, don't count him out. He looked very good in his heat race as well.
Yes, he did. These guys are real good short trackers. It seems like the good short trackers have found themselves on the front row. We've got a Daytona short track winner in Justin Jones. We've got two Super Prestigio participants tomorrow with Jones and Janish. Jameson Minor, I've seen him up in New York go real good. Bromley goes good on short tracks, grew up on him in Pennsylvania. Bauman, great short tracker from Northern California. These guys, no better place for them to get a win than here in Vegas.
And they get a win, they could possibly punch themselves a ticket to tomorrow night's race, the Super Prestigio of the Americas.
Yeah, Bromley can get there one of two ways. He wins tonight, he's guaranteed he's in. If he beats Jameson Minor, he gets himself in. Unless we have a first-time winner, somebody who hasn't won yet this year, that person will get the nods. We'll have that sorted out at the end of, this 20 laps.
I'm glad you're keeping track of that because I'm doing my best to keep track of these riders. We got 12 of them out there. This is the 12 fastest GNC2 riders. This is their main event. Again, it's the longest main event they've had. It's 20 laps, but 10.5-second lap times. It's going to go really quick. We'll see if there's any red flags, who's going to keep it upright, who's going down. Anything can happen in short track racing, indoor racing here at the Orleans Arena. GNC2 main event. Watch the green light. And they're off. Bronson Bauman snags the hole shot. Bromley goes to the inside. He's going to try to drag race him down the back straightaway.
Spins it up a little bit coming off of turn 2, but there we have Bauman controls the race from the front. Got Jesse Janish in third. Austin Luxack moves up into the 4th position from the 2nd row. He was one of the riders on the lower part of the racetrack. A good run for him. This very well could be the best finish in his young pro career.
Bronson Bauman's got company. Dan Bromley's trying to take a look at the inside. Pulls the front wheel. He's getting some good traction. He's a lot taller. Probably weighs a little bit more than Bronson. Gets his weight to the back wheel. Robbins racing. Here comes Bromley up the inside. Bauman back to 2nd.
Good pass. He set that up with a good drive off of turn 4. Had the position as we have them stacking up. We had Ryan Wells and Austin Luxack down there. They were running up there toward the front.
More rubbing going on for the lead. Bauman had the lead momentarily. Looks like he tried to pole putt the inside, and that Bromley said, I'm not having nothing to do with that. He come on up the inside, took the line away. Janish is now caught up to the leaders. Here comes Jones on the 19B. He's running the high line.
Well, he's won a short track before, so he knows he has to be a little patient. We're a quarter of the way through this one. Janish gets a good drive off of turn 4. Bromley stretches out a little bit of a gap. Looks like he's having a little bit of front wheel lift there coming off the corners, but he's getting that weight transfer and the bike's going forward. He's squirting down the straightaway.
Is there such thing as too much traction on a short track like this?
There can be if you can't turn, and but he's getting the turn done before the thing's doing that huge squat, so good for him at the moment.
We're clicking them off fast. We're 8 laps into a 20-lap main event. We're taking a look deeper in the field. There's Ben Lau coming up and taking over the 3rd spot away from Jesse Janish, and Jones is right there back in 5th. Back up to the front, it's Bromley in the lead. Bauman in the 2 spot. Janish slides back another position. He's going the wrong direction. Janish was in 3rd earlier. Now he's back to about the 5th spot.
Yeah, tough lap there for him. Ben Lau up into the 3rd spot as we got halfway through this one. Inderbitson comes up, takes a position from Janish, moves on up into 5th.
Great racing as the halfway through. We 10 down, now 11 down, 9 laps left. Inderbitson's making his way to the front. He had the last pick in this one. Jones runs into the back tire. Ben Lau coming off for turn number 2. Bromley still trying to check out, looking for his first win of the season and possibly the first GNC2 win of his career. Trying to check on that. He's got 1 win previously. So this is looking for his 2nd win in the GNC singles class. He won also on a twin, I believe. I'll have to check my notes on that one. But it's Bromley out front, Bauman in 2nd, Lau in the 3rd spot.
Good job up front. I know Dan Bromley working hard at this. He has said he would really like to ride tomorrow night, and this is the easiest way for him to get there is by winning this race. He's got 5 laps to go. Doing good up front. Let's see if Bronson Bauman can do a late charge here. 5 to go.
He's the only KTM in this main event. He's out front of a bunch of Hondas, and Janish listed on the Kawasaki back in about the 6th spot right now, so laps are winding down. It's still Bromley out front. Here comes Inderbitson up the inside of Jones to take over that 4th spot. So, man, he's been flying all night. He just had some rough luck, so maybe he can start with these guys.
Brown Bauman stalls it in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Let's see if he can
loses 1 spot to Lau. So Bauman was in 2nd. Now he's back in the 3rd spot. Here comes Inderbitson. He might get on a podium.
Just might. He's in a good position if he can take advantage of another error.
He started back there on the 4th row. Actually, wasn't even back there on the 3rd row, but all the way back on row 4. 2 laps to go. Now about a lap and a half left. Bromley takes a look over his shoulder. He said he put the one finger up in the air. He knows he's got 1 lap left. I don't know if he saw that was the white flag, but he's already celebrating a little early.
I'm going to cruise. I got a big enough lead. I'm going to walk this thing
There you
home.
go. On the
Good
back
job
wheel.
for him.
Bromley takes the win. Lau in 2nd. Bronson Bauman 3rd. Man, what a race we had. That punches his ticket to the Super Prestigio de Americas tomorrow night. Dan Bromley, the KTM rider, did what he had to do, got the start, and duked it out with Bronson Bauman. Ends up taking the win and punches himself a ticket. There's his dad.
Very happy father there.
That's Joe Bromley. He actually works for the AMA, handed out the #1 plate earlier to Davis Fisher. And here comes the victory lap right there. You guys can put your hands together for you here at the Orleans Arena for Dan Bromley. His first win of the season, 2nd of his career to the 54A, Dan Bromley.
Good job. 2nd generation racer. Joe doesn't ride as much as he used to, but his Uncle Steve's still doing some vintage racing, and Bill, the whole Bromley family's been very, very involved with flat track for many years on the local and professional level. Great to see a long-time racing family have some success here in Las Vegas. Congratulations to them.
1 race coming up. Let's give you a rundown. Dan Bromley takes the win. Ben Lau 2nd. Bronson Bauman 3rd. Michael Inderbitson, again, from row 4 up to 4th. Justin Jones 5th. Jesse Janish 6th. We'll see some of these riders tomorrow night. Rodney Spencer Jr. 7th. Jacob Lehman back there in 8th. James Monaco 9th. Ryan Wells stalled the bike right there near the end, finishes 10th. Jamison Miner had a tough main event too. Ends up 2 laps down in 11th. And Austin Luxak back there in 12th. Rounds out your field. So great race. We've got 1 more A main event coming up next, and we'll see that after this victory celebration. Let's go trackside with Danny Medine.
All right, thanks, you guys. We're going to start with 3rd place, Ben Lau. Bronson. I'm stepping on over here. Bronson, solid race out there. You made a mistake in the corner. Can you kind of take us through what happened?
I got a great start, and the Honda was working good, and I made a mistake, and Dan got by me, and I was trying to pressure him as much as possible, and he was making mistakes, and I would make a mistake, and just couldn't really capitalize on it, and I made a huge mistake and stalled my bike coming into 3 right here, and was able to get it started back up and finish 3rd. So, that's respectable, I'd say. So I'm really happy with how we finished. Much would have rather been on the top box, but we're on the podium, so final race of the year, it's good to be up here.
And you have a great team behind you. Who would you like to thank?
Oh yeah, I have a great team behind me. I have Rod Lake Racing, RGR, Mom and Dad, Grandma. We got Heart Racing, Motion Pro, Arai Helmets, Fly Racing Gear, Asterix, team driver, just everyone else. Thank you all, Gene and Gail Cummings. Everyone's really helped out. DR Electric, RKE Electric, everyone who comes out and help, especially my girlfriend. And I'm happy I got on the podium. It's the first race my new puppy's got to come out, so this one's for Bel-Ray.
And congratulations on such a successful season. You've been such a joy to watch, one of my favorite people up here, but I'm going to step on over. Oh, come back.
I'm a people pleaser. Well, I try to be. Not really. All right, we're done.
Stepping back over to 2nd place, Ben Lau, great race out there. Solid race. Can you kind of take us through that?
I'll tell you what, I sure am glad to be back up here with you. But, it was a crazy race. I got a great start, just stuck right around the bottom, and people just kept getting, moved up and just moving up the racetrack, and I just stayed on the bottom. And I really got nervous when I seen Bronson kind of laying the bike down over here. I thought I was going to have to, I don't even know, but I'm just so glad to be up here and just found my first pro podium.
And it was in Vegas.
It was in Vegas.
There's no better place to do it.
For sure.
Now you have a great team behind you. Who would you like to thank?
Like I said, again, my mechanic, Dylan Phelps, for everything he's been doing for me. My brother at Low Life Performance, he does all my motors, suspension. The bike was just completely dialed in right out of the truck. Mom, Dad, girlfriend Abby's here. Recluse Clutches, they're a huge sponsor of mine. really helped me out with everything. Moose Racing, light shoes, Saddleman seats. I know Tom Seymour's here with Saddleman. That's great to do this in front of him. Just Magnum or Roger at Magnum Distributing. He helps me out a ton with parts, and just John L. Peters, Gary Mills, and just everybody else. Just thanks so much.
Well, congratulations on second place. Dan Bromley, you have waited all season to take your first win, and you're doing it here in Vegas. So pumped for you. How are you feeling right now?
I feel pretty good. You know, coming in here, I had a little problem with my bike getting improved, but we got that approved, and rode the first 2 practices on it, and it was good, but it wasn't comfortable. And I came out here with my old 06 we bought for $3,000 over the winter, and just had some fun on it, and came out here, did a good time, and won a heat. And came out here with Bronson, got a little rubbing around, had some fun. The track was slick, but I couldn't be happier. And yeah.
Let's give a shout out to those sponsors. Who would you like to thank?
Oh, I can't thank my dad enough for driving all the way out here. Denny for also making it out here and working on my bikes. Bill Warner for all the help he's given me this year and today fixing my bikes. Jack and Josie coming out here. My mom and brother back home, Steve Bromley. My uncle, he builds all my bikes, makes them great. My beautiful girlfriend, Kelsey, who's running around here somewhere. And everybody else, Jamie Nicely, John Light from Evans, for giving me this cool hat. Saddleman, everybody else, I can't thank them enough.
You're also the 2015 GNC2 runner-up, so congratulations on a successful season. Las Vegas, make some noise for our AMA Pro GNC2 final. Well, and you got your, yes, you did, you got your Super Prestigio invite. What are you gonna do?
Oh, I'm gonna see you guys out here tomorrow. Hell yeah.
I'll be here too.
Oh yeah, I'll see you.
I'll be here. I'll be waiting for you up here. All right, you guys, make some noise one more time.
That was the GNC2 main event. These youngsters certainly happy to be up on the podium. Ben Lau, like you said, he's been training with Jared Meese back home, and it proved to pay off tonight as he put himself on his first ever pro podium here in Vegas.
Yeah, it certainly did. You know, I know Jared at times had as many as 4, 5, 6 guys out riding with him at the same time, and you know, one thing to test by yourself and work on your setup, but you also got to get out there with some other riders and mix it up a little bit, and it's certainly paying dividends for Ben Lau getting his first visit to a podium tonight.
And I believe it actually helped Jared Meese too, because he won his heat race, and he'll be starting second in our next race, which will be the Harley-Davidson GNC1 presented by Vance and Hines, a main event as we get to all the victory podiums, all that stuff taken care of here in our GNC2 main event. Up next is our 25-lap Grand National main event. The champion it has already been crowned. It's Jared Meese. He's wrapped it up. Coolbeth ended up not making any points right there, didn't make it to the main event. Even if he would have, Meese would have locked it up because last place in the main pays 8 points because it's only 12 riders.
Correct. So Jared did what he needed to do, and congratulations to him. I'm sure it's a disappointing evening for Brian Smith and Kenny Coolbeth, wanting to be able to line up and have a chance here in this AMA. But win a championship, you got to be in the hunt and be in a position to take advantage. And Jared Meese put himself there.
Absolutely. So we got a huge event happening tomorrow night. We still have a main event here left tonight, 25 laps for the GNC1 class, but tomorrow night we got another great event, the Super Prestigio of the Americas. There's actually 3 classes running tomorrow night.
3 classes. We will have the AMA bracket. We will have the All-Star bracket, who we heard from in a previous video. And then we're going to have a class of super hooligans. We're going to have a group of guys out here on their street bike-based dirt trackers. They're pretty much, I believe the rule is stock chassis, and they have to have 19-inch dirt track wheels on it. And I saw a couple of them out in the pits, and there's some really beautiful motorcycles. So it's basically these guys can be racing some street trackers.
Absolutely. So you going to sign up for that one, or are you going to stay up here with me?
No, I think I'm in a good spot to call it with you.
All right.
I'm going to look forward to watching that.